Visit that Thursday night football game. Thursday night, the Kansas City Chiefs took on the Denver Broncos. And in that game, the great one, and one of my favorite receivers, the Mighty Mouse, Steve Smith, he had it went back to a topic that I had a week ago. Is the media being too harsh? Are players being a little bit too sensitive? Or is the media being a little bit too harsh? Well, that was on display last night as well. Steve Smith Sr. was on the NFL Network doing his hit for the game. And then he had a little run-in with wide receiver of the Denver Broncos, Jeudy. Now, let me give you the backstory. The backstory is on Steve Smith's podcast, earlier in the year, he had made some comments about Jeudy. And he said that Jeudy wasn't performing up to his standard and was kind of, critiquing his game, and said right now he's playing like a Jag. And I don't mean a Jacksonville Jaguar. If you do not know what a Jag means just another guy. Now, surely, Jeudy couldn't be a Jag. Why? Jeudy in 2020 was drafted number 15 overall pick in the first round by the Denver Broncos. You don't draft Jags at number 15 in the NFL draft. I mean, you don't draft Jags in front of guys like Brandon Ayuk. You don't draft Jags in front of guys like T. Higgins. You don't draft Jags in front of guys like CeeDee Lamb. You don't draft Jags in front of guys like Justin Jefferson. You just don't. You draft a guy that high in front of all of those talented players because that dude is supposed to be a dude. Not a Jag. The Jag's reserved for me. I'll take that. I will put the crown on. Just know, for those of you that are laughing, Taylor in general, I'll wear the crown of the Jag. You're not better than me. So if I'm a Jag, just want to put that out there. No, I'm just playing. But Jeudy is not supposed to be a Jag. But leading up until this is fourth year in the league, hasn't had a 1,000-yard receiving season. You think a guy who's 15, and the only guy that was drafted before him is now in jail. They both came from Alabama. But his highest receiving 67 catches in the season, yardage 972. So close to 1,000, but not 1,000. And that's kind of the mark of a receiver. You want to hit the 1,000-yard rusher. You want to be a 1,000-yard receiver. But Steve Smith said some things about Jeudy, and he said, you know what? Maybe I was a bit harsh. Maybe I said some things in my podcast that maybe were a little bit over the top about Jeudy. So now that I have a chance to speak to this man face to face, man to man, brother to brother, receiver to receiver, alpha to alpha, dude to dude, I'm going to talk to him and I'm going to offer my sincere apologies for the things that I said. Well, when Steve Smith went to approach Jeudy about what he said, his response was this. You can insert the video right here. Maybe. His response was this. He said that I was going to talk to Jeudy, and Jeudy said to me, Steve Smith's words, he said, "Ninja, you know what the ninja means. Y'all not gonna get my page pulled. Ninja, I don't F with you like that." And Steve was like, I'm just coming to, he said, "Ninja, I don't F with you like that." So then Steve Smith went on to obliterate him and says, and when teams call me and ask me about Jeudy, I'm going to tell them, no, don't trade for Jeudy. He is a mentally unstable person that can't take constructive criticism from a guy who was a first-round pick, who's not productive, who the Broncos are eventually going to move on from. He's a third tier wide receiver. 15th number overall pick, 15th pick in 2020 draft. Steve Smith called him third-tier receiver. So I don't know. It goes back to are dudes sensitive? Are they Erykah Badu? I'm sensitive about mine. Can they not take constructive criticism? Does it coming from a former player not mean more than it coming from just another dude on the internet? I mean, Steve Smith does have the stripes. And by the way, don't know you that well, Jerry Jeudy. I know Steve Smith for some time. May not be the dude you want to get into a kerfluffle with. May not be the dude you want to have, fisticuffs. Just saying, has a track record. I know the young kids, y'all fool around with them blickies. I get it. Steve Smith put his hands on you. Might not be. I don't promote violence, but I'm just saying Steve Smith put his hands on you. You might not want that fight. But I will say this as well. Here's the thing that we also have to understand. Executives, people who are in these networks and signing these former player right here. We have to understand what you're signing up for. For the majority of all these former players live, they have been trained and programmed to play this very violent sport called football. Very violent sport. You have to have a level of confidence, have to have a level of courage, a level of arrogance, a little bit of cockiness in there, and just all out trying to be as real as you possibly can to play this game. And then what's happening now is these guys are getting microphones like this one, and they're putting them in front of the face and they're putting them on national TV and they're saying, hey, watch film, critique, be critical, give us the breakdown, da-da-da-da-da. And what's happening is a lot of these guys, the executives want them to have their words eloquently broken down and give it to you as softly as you possibly can. But some of these guys, when they watch a dude and he's trash on film, they're not going to say, well, when I evaluated him on film, I thought that there could have been a much better effort. There was a lackluster performance, and his performance wasn't up to the swellness of what we look for. Nah, they're going to say, that dude was trash. Now, I get it. May not be professional. Some of them don't know how to be all the time. But I think that's what you signed up for. You signed up for the unfiltered version of it. That's what they give you. Some of the execs may love it. Some of the fans may not love it, but understand one way or another, this is who they are at the core. When you talk about a game that they love, that's changed their lives, that have fed their families, that have bought their houses, that have given them generational wealth, this is how they see it. And so sometimes they're going to give it to you just raw and uncut. May not be right, but that's what they know, and that's what you signed up for.